Welcome back. This time we're playing at Fuji Golf Course. It has been around since 1953. It's only 20,000 yen for a round of golf with caddy, cart and a sumptuous lunch. Do remember to use your rangefinder as you will need to use slope. Now this course, we're going to use this Mount Fuji compass, as this course will be heavily dependent on where Mount Fuji is. For example, on the right side, if the Mount Fuji is behind us, everything will be downhill. And on the left, if Mount Fuji is ahead of us, everything will be severely uphill. So let's begin. Hole 1 is a par 4, and as you can see on the left side, it says that Mount Fuji is on the left, therefore everything's going to kick left to right. A good spot for us to be at would be on the left of this fairway.
Thank you. 58 meters to the pin, and I've got 43 to the fun.
Now we've got 58 meters to the pin. I'm going to hit left of this, short of the green, and let the ball sort of kick, using the slope, and let it kick towards the hole. It came up short, and from here it's a really huge left to right break. Although you can't see it visually, but trust me, there is.
Thank you.
A surprisingly great start to our first hole. On this second hole, it's the same. It's a short par 5. You might be wondering why we are playing off the whites. There are only blues and whites on this course, and blues are only reserved for members. Therefore, all guests and all walk-in golfers have to play off the white. On this second shot, I have to negotiate my ball over the tree, play a high cut. As you all know, a high cut isn't my forte. The best I could do is make it go straight. The ball flew over the left side of this green, and from here it's severely downhill. The plan is to hoist the ball really high up, let it land soft, and let it trickle softly.
Wow.
I do suggest that when you come to this course, remember to hire a caddy. It's really important. This par 3 is only 122. Everything slopes from from left to right. Then I hit this that well, and the ball came up short. This chip was severely uphill, and I constantly reminded myself that it's steep. However, ball came up short.
I already told you already, it's very steep. You still hit so soft. Okay. Mine.
On this hole, we've got Mount Fuji behind us. Everything's going to be downhill, and this par 4 is actually reachable. I gave a big whack.
Too much.
Didn't get all of it, but the ball still ended up safe left of the fairway in the rough. Now to negotiate this ball sort of below the branches ahead of us, so I went with a 46, a pitching wedge, maybe like a half swing, let it land short and let it kick forward.
Okay. Okay. Pa.
On this hole, actually, we are supposed to be able to see Mount Fuji ahead of us. Unfortunately, today is a really cloudy day, just like the one when we were playing at Fuji Classic. Just really unfortunate. On this second shot, I have to hoist my ball up really high over a tree ahead of us. We've got about 100 meters. I went with an approach wedge, and we did it successfully. Really satisfying. However, my ball ended up at the back of this green. Now this putt is severely downslope. Like I said, visually you cannot really see it. Hole 6 is a short dog leg right par 5. We've got to hit the ball over the trees. It's sloping downhill. So if we sort of hit it too far left, the ball might actually end up into the OB. On my second shot, visually it looks like a very flat shot, as in, there's not much right to left, even though Mount Fuji is on the right. But when I hit this, I put this drastically. Fortunately, the tree deflected my ball and the ball ended up in this very different kind of bunker. The sand is coarse, feels like pebble-like kind of a sand. Over here, a nice step in for birdie.
It's okay. Thank you.
So we're 1 under after 6 holes. So far, this course has been really enjoyable to play. The only thing that you really need to consider is to calculate your landing area and where you really have to hit your shot. So your start line will be really important, as
Thank you.
Mount Fuji really comes into play. Hole 8 is a par 4 where there's OB on the left. So visually, you want to hit the ball onto the right. And it sort of helps that Mount Fuji is just sort of behind us, so everything will kick right to left. However, I hit this ball way too right, and the ball got stuck in this unfortunate lie. I went with an 8 iron. The ball struck a root and just popped up in the air. Now we're left with 68. I have to land this about 60. We flew this ball kind of too far,
Oh, sit. Wow.
and the ball ended up back of the green. Now it's a nice cleanup for bogey. A simple 2-putt. We don't have to try too hard to sink for par, as the probability is really low. So walking away with a bogey would be a wise thing. Hole 9, another downhill par 4. With Mount Fuji on the right, this sort of suits my draw. The ball overdrew just a tad bit too much, and it ended up on the left side of the fairway.
Ah, behind the tree. Mount Fuji is there. So this way, right to left. 125 meters right to left. Hit it below the tree. So, wow. 130. 8 iron.
Fortunately, the camera battery died before I could actually finish this hole, and then I ended up with a par. Hope you guys are catching up and not getting too confused on where Mount Fuji is so far. I've been going through quite a few calculations, and I must say, it's quite fun, as it makes you think, where you have to factor in the mountain, the wind, the start line, and also, if you've seen the first picture in this video, our ball also flies 1 club further. Hole 11 par 4 is at 364 meters. I would say this is actually one of the longer par 4s already. The green is straight ahead of us. We do not want to go right, so I opt to go way left. Even though the ball's in the rough, it's still fine.
Okay. 95 to the pin. Mount Fuji is there. So I gotta play 80 left of the pin. 80 left of the pin. Okay. So much calculation in my head. My brain now.
I must say I've hit two beautiful shots up to this point. It's severely left to right on this putt. And I did hit this really well. Just sometimes the ball does not go in. Well, that's golf.
Yeah.
Hole 12 is actually a hole where we can really see Mount Fuji ahead of us, as you can see on the compass on the left side. However, the clouds are blocking it. That's so unfortunate. I was really looking forward to see Mount Fuji on this golf course and show it to all of you guys. I believe the view would have been really fantastic.
Fuji.
Nonetheless, we'll still enjoy our round of golf.
And so play 80. Straight for the pin.
So Mount Fuji is on the right side. From this shot, we've got to hit the ball right off this pin and let the ball kick back towards the left. However, the ball ended up short.
Severe uphill, right to left.
We've got to really hit this hard. Hole 13 has a fantastic view of the lake right in front of us. It's also a very good hole for us to bomb our drives, as we're going to hit this long. The ball's going to land on the slope and it's going to kick severely forward. From here, we have 235 meters. I went with a hybrid instead of a 3-wood. I'm just afraid that the ball might go too long and roll to the back of the green. And I think that's not where we want the ball to be.
Fuji-san. Behind. Okay. So, right down left.
For a few holes, you will actually see me point towards where Mount Fuji is. It's just how I'm reminding myself and to factor into my calculations.
Thank you. Don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, mine's there.
Hole 14 is a short par 4. It's unreachable as we are severely uphill. Fairway is rather wide. It's a good hole to place your ball left, center, or right. It doesn't really matter. Now we can see a little bit of Mount Fuji sort of playing hide and seek with us. From here, it's 33 meters. The ball's not going to roll that much when it lands on the green. So I do have to hit this a bit higher, let it land soft.
Thank you.
Not bad, we are 3 under after hole 15. This is another short par 4 which is definitely reachable. However, we do have to hit the ball over the trees on the right side for it to get on. This slightly, and this was going way left.
Okay.
Hole 16 par 3 is the only hole in the entire course where you do not have to pay attention to where Mount Fuji is. It's a par 3 at 124 meters. I pulled this ball towards the left. I think this visually you can really tell it's sloping left to right. So landed the ball left of this pin.
Stop.
Had a very bad kick and it kicked forward, and I was left with a really testy 7-footer for par.
Eyes looked up.
Hole 17 is a par 5 at 434 meters. If we take the shortcut towards the right side, we may actually even put this ball onto the green. However, if we hit this too long and we hit this too short, the ball will be subjected to OB. So doing the right and smart thing, we went with a 3-wood.
Okay, 132 meters downhill. Mount Fuji is Mount Fuji.
And even with a 3-wood, we almost ended up into the OB. I only have enough swing for a 6-iron because I want to keep the ball low. The tree on the left is in play, and I do want the ball to come out low and let it run towards the green. Struck this beautifully, and the ball rolled up and ended up just in front of the green.
Okay.
From here, visually, it looks like it's going left to right. But after striking this ball and the ball landed on the green, it kicked towards the left. On this green, the slope was actually a left to right, but because Mount Fuji was on the right, it was a dead straight putt. Quite amazing, huh?
Okay.
Have you guys ever played golf next to a mountain? I think this is one of the only few or rare times that I've played next to one. The other one would be Gunung Gulis, which is in Indonesia, Bogor. And that's also a golf course where you do have to pay attention to where the mount is.
Wow, look at that. Front of the green.
On this finishing hole, we're left with a short pitch of 28 meters. And again, with the calculations,
Mountain, left to right. Mountain, left to right, straight.
will this go in? Will I be right?
Caddy-san, good.
A fantastic 68 or 4 under.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.